Hi everyone, and welcome back to another great episode here at Catholic Table Talk Podcast. This is the podcast where everything Catholic is on the table. Thank you again for joining me at the table this week, wherever you are at, on any of our platforms. Thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so you never miss an episode. If you have a show or topic request, please feel free to email me at catholictt@gmail.com. Again, catholictt@gmail.com. The official email of Catholic Table Talk, or just leave a comment on the platform underneath the video. Also, you can leave a comment or a question or order some merchandise in the comments, or especially at the email. So order some merchandise. We got tongue, so spread Catholic Table Talk that way with some great merchandise today, as well as a sponsorship. Our sponsorship details are at the email address as well. And today we're back with sponsorship by Ken Litchfield and his book, How Old Is Your Church? An Introduction to Catholic Apologetics. Thank you to Ken for supporting another show with his book, found on Amazon for only $6. And again, it's Ken Litchfield is How Old an Introduction to How Old Is Your Church? An Introductory to Catholic Apologetics. So, one of the and that's why I'm asking for a show and topic request, because when I do it, I'm not sure if that's what what the audience wants. I reach out to you on most of the platforms every week and or every few weeks and say, here's a list, of topics. Do they sound okay about, and most of you say yes, they do. So, which is good. But just kind of what order to put them in is a little tricky. So this week I found something new and cool, and a thought kind of came to me, which let's be real, a lot of different thoughts come to me when I'm thinking about shows, so that's when it's tough to really decide on which one. And it's not like, it doesn't mean that none of them are good, or, because all of them are good, we'll probably talk about all of them at some point during the show, but it's like, which order? And, today we're going to talk about staying strong and in the Catholic loop in these days, in today's world, which we know is all a little crazy right now, isn't it? Crazy and dangerous. So, what do I mean by staying in the loop? What do you mean by staying strong in the Catholic loop? How about just the Christian loop, Well, if you're a Catholic, you should probably stay strong in your faith, because if you're a Catholic but you are more kind of Protestant, then you're not really practicing your Catholic faith fully to your fully potential. So staying in the loop means just kind of being, I was asked by this a couple of times away in the past couple of months, was, how does the younger generation faring in school, and what's the younger Catholic generation like? And I'm like, and basically one of the things I said, and it was at church after a meeting, I'm like, and what the thing I said was like, no one is really staying informed. Everyone's kind of on social media, and everyone's just kind of doing their daily lives. Just going to church once a week. That's it. Just kind of watching church, not participating in church. And everyone's kind of in the old world. Not to say, like, they're really shy or anything, but they're in the old world. Like, I got my group of friends here, and, I don't really have a place for God. Or, anything that gets, anything new, like, gay marriages and all this, that kind of goes against the Catholic teaching. Okay, I'm Catholic, but I'm okay with that abortion, So staying in the loop means kind of staying in the Catholic loop to know what's going on in the world, especially with elections coming up, and just staying informed about what is taking place in the world and how to stay strong. So I got a couple articles, try to go through them quickly here. I know I'm short on time, but this is one from Catholic Vote. TikTok bans Catholic Vote after flagrant violence on LGBTQ agenda for kids. And it says, TikTok on Monday banned Catholic Vote less than 2 months ahead of November midterm elections. Really? So the big tech video platform banned Catholic Vote for hateful behavior after it posted videos calling attention to sexualized LGBT themed children's books and drag shows intended for kids, reported Caroline Downey at the National Review. While the platform has flagged the organization's contact in the past, it was formally locked out from its account. Joshua Morsi, Communications Director for CatholicVote.org, told National Review. TikTok had previously restricted Catholic Vote account on 2 occasions. In one video, Catholic Vote intern Ethan Proctor read passages of the Pride-themed book called Wick, about a 10-year-old boy learning about sex and gender identities from an LGBTQ after-school program. This is an after-school program. In the other case, Catholic Vote posted a clip from a local news report about a drag event in Texas, which, if anyone who follows a Catholic source, or they know about that. But if you don't, then you don't. Where children were filmed interacting with obscure performer, a woman who protested the event tells reporters in the video that she opposes drag events in general, but would not be getting involved if it were for the children being exposed to it. It's kids now, she says. The story with Drag Queen story. Now it's children's books about sex and 10-year-olds throwing cash at grown men. Catholic Vote's caption stated. In both instances, TikTok claimed a post-war in violation of the platform's hateful behavior policy. We do not tolerate content that attacks or incites violence against an individual or a group of individuals on the basis of protecting attributes, with a notification set to Catholic Vote. We do not allow content that includes hate speech and remove it from our platform. We also suspend or ban accounts that have multiple hate speeches violations. TikTok is threatening to ban our account because of the video exposing children at drag shows. Catholic Vote changing at the time, too graphic for TikTok, too graphic for kids, which is a great point. It's impossible to miss the significance of this happening in late September, just ahead of an important election, said Catholic Vote Communications Director Joshua Morsi. So that's that. But aside the politics, this is about a powerful media company enforcing American families, he continued. They want to target our kids with this confusing and radical content, but they know parents would never approve of it. So when pro-family groups like Catholic Vote and other Catholic groups step in and alert parents to what education officials and teachers unions are pushing on their kids in schools and public libraries, big tech swoops down to shut us down. Make no mistake, Morsi said, they are not just trying to shut us down, they're trying to shut you down, the parents. They know that you might have something to say about your kid's upbringing, and they don't want to hear it. Catholic Vote will continue to speak up for the faith and freedom on whatever platforms and organizations it has access to, Morsi says, but families with kids shouldn't ignore when things like this happen. They shouldn't forget either, especially when it comes time to vote. So that's what I mean by staying in the loop. Again, that was from CatholicVote.org. I just signed up for a special newsletter from the Catholic Vote. It's called The Loop. If you want it, just look up CatholicVote.org/loop, or hold me, I'll message you the information. And so it's a daily or every other day newsletter that comes out and really talks about just kind of politics, and then really talks about the meat and potatoes of the Catholic view in the politics of the day, and then other stuff. So, thank you for my art and Uncle for mentioning that. Follow the loop on Catholic.org, CatholicVote.org. So, and we talked about this with Virgin Most Powerful Radio. We had Terry Barber on the show and his wife Mary. YouTube shut them down because of violence against, misinformation about the election or just other Catholic teachings that was deemed a violation. So it's happening, and I think a lot of people don't really think about it. They don't know. Well, first they don't know about it. They don't think about it, and if they do hear it, they might say, that's kind of propaganda. Maybe it's one or two that really, maybe they're not really great Catholics, jeez. It's more this Catholic Church scandal, something like that, but it's really, really serious and really something to be, not taken lightly. And I really like that at the end there it says, remember it when it comes time to elections. So, how do you, become more aware of it? Well, you watch, listen, you get in the Catholic.org loop, or CatholicVote.org loop, you stay connected to Catholic media sites, like you always should be doing. You go to Catholic Table Talk, by the way. You can say novenas to defend churches and pregnancy centers, because another thing is, ever since abortion Roe v. Wade was overturned, there's been countless attacks on churches and pregnancy centers throughout the country, and the media doesn't really care about it. No one really cares about it, actually, unless it happens in your hometown. Then you might say, okay, well, that's alright, or, So, say novenas, you look up different novenas, and one novena is St. Michael, St. Divine Mercy Chaplet, pray the rosary about it every day to kind of make this come to an end and bring peace to the world. Another article, and I'll just share with this briefly here, is from Catholic Agency News Agency, and again, this is from the loop at CatholicVote.org, and California bishops raise objections to deaths you should return but human composting. This is from Gavin Newsom, who is a Catholic, who is the governor of California, and he supports, he signed into law a bill that would allow Californians to have their bodies compost after they die. The process of human composting, also known as natural organic reduction, is a relatively new phenomenon in the U.S. and is legal in a handful of other states. When a body is composted, it is placed in a reusable container where microbes and bacteria decompose it into soil over the course of about 30 to 45 days. The resulting soil can then be used on private land, such as on a farm or in a garden, and otherwise would be subject to the same restrictions as scattered cremated remains in the state, the LA Times reports. The state's Catholic conference had expressed opposition to the bill in a June letter. Catherine Domingo, executive director of the California Catholic Conference, said that the use of a body composting method originally developed for farm animals creates unfortunate spiritual emotion as physical distancing from the deceased. In addition, she said, the process reduces the human body to simply decompose completely. The process will be available in California beginning in only a few years, 2027. The bill's sponsor, Embassy member Cristina Garcia de Belgons, argued that the process is more economical and eco-friendly than traditional burial methods and could help to reduce overcrowding in cemeteries. But the Catholic Church does not have an official the Catholic Church does not have an official teaching on the composting of human bodies, but has weighed in many times over the years on the practice of cremation. While strongly discourage cremation, it can be permissible under certain restrictions. Notably, the remains are not to be scattered and must be kept in a sacred place, out of reverence for the Church's teaching on the eventual resurrection of the body. We believe that the transformation of the remains will create an emotional distance rather than a reverence for them, Steve Partage, a spokesman for the California Catholic Conference, told Regional News Service in 2020. Even with cremated remains, they directed that they remain in communal place, benefiting of the dignity inherited of the human body and its correction to the immortal soul. Partage said the Congressional for the Doctrine of the Faith October 2016 instruction and Wisdom states that while cremation is not prohibited, the Church continues to perform the practice of burying the bodies of the deceased because this shows a greater esteem towards the deceased. In that same document, the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith clarified that a person's ashes are not to be scattered nor kept in a home or preserved in metalites or jewelry, but instead be laying and resting in a sacred place, such as a cemetery or a church, as the document explains. By burying the bodies of the faithful, the Church conforms to the faithful in the resurrection of the body and intends to show the great dignity of the human body as a part of the human person whose body forms part of their identity. So again, that's from Catholic News Agency about Governor Newsom's new bill. So, but like I said, just think about it right now, and please leave a comment below. Leave a comment below this show if you have not heard about these things. If these were new to you, if you were surprised by them, or whatever the case might be, leave a comment. Let me hear what you think. Because, like I said, there's so much evil going on in the world, so much bad. I mean, that's in California. Now, a lot of people say, well, California, yeah. You have a Catholic governor who's not Catholic because he's for abortion. He's putting billboards up in other states, welcoming abortion patients to California, saying that we can help. Of course, our state that we live in, Minnesota, is really for abortion as well. Yeah, I could maybe see the composting stuff come to here too, because once that snowball kind of starts rolling with someone throwing out a supposedly great idea, then others join, and then you become, like we are now, dividing on kind of the party or your faith, and it's not great. But so staying in the loop, like I said, staying in the loop means just don't think, Catholic sites are not being blocked. I mean, Billy, you're doing a great job, and Catholic Access is doing a great job. They're not being blocked off YouTube. It could happen. I'm surprised it really hasn't happened yet for it. So it is happening. It's just the best thing is not to ignore it. It's kind of like the story of the Good Samaritan. You have two people walk by the injured man on the other side don't think like that. I mean, so they kind of ignore him. Well, people think of this and maybe they ignore it. Don't ignore it. Be that good Samaritan who stops and helps. And in this case, you could say helps and defend the Catholic faith and helps and defend, like in this point of view, CatholicVote.org, as well as getting news and defending against the composting of human remains. Because if you ignore it, then you're going to believe other stuff and you're not really following up in the loop. So I get politics or just everyday news can bring us down, but that's why we have hope in Jesus, and we can pray and we can do acts of kindness, a couple works of mercy, all those different things that we can get graces for, receive sacraments, all that stuff. And like I said, we could have a whole show on some of this other stuff, like, cremation. I mean, the Catholic Church is strongly, not really strongly kind of against cremation. It can happen, but it has restrictions. So, pray for this, stay in the loop, because like I said, one of the most powerful whale got kicked off YouTube. A lot of other great Catholic accounts like this, CatholicVote.org got kicked off of TikTok, but like they said, it's only a few months away from November elections, which is, if you think about it, that's not really, okay, that's kind of different. That's actually kind of scary. So, stay strong for this faith. Stay strong in the loop, because, like I said, and teach your kids to stand up for schools that's teaching kids sexual identities and all this sex stuff, and bring that to the polls in November and in the years to come, and teach your kids about the true dignity of people and the true faith, which is the Catholic faith. So, stay strong in the loop. If you have any questions or anything, please reach out to me, and sign up at CatholicVote.org/theloop. And like I said, these are just 2 topics. There are many, many more out there. So I encourage you to maybe that's, if you have time today, maybe look up a couple things from a Catholic site to look up to see what else is happening in the world. And like I said, if you're not following a whole lot of Catholic sites, follow Catholic sites, support Catholic sites on social media, as well as be a good Christian, be a good disciple witness of Jesus. Share Catholic stuff on social media if you have social media. Don't be you can be interested in your family and friends and every little bit thing of your life that you're doing, but stay connected and be role models for the younger generation, so they can get back informed and stay informed and stay strong in the Catholic loop. But like I said, leave your comments, and like I said, if this is new to you, let me know. This is great. Maybe I can do another show like this in the future. So leave your comments below. Until next time, stay strong in the loop. Stay strong in your Catholic faith. And because the world today is getting really scary and dangerous, but we have hope in Jesus. And support your local church. Go to the sacraments and support Catholic media, no matter what it is. And thank you for your continued support here at Catholic Table Talk Podcast. We'll catch you next time with another great show on Catholic Table Talk Podcast, the podcast where everything, and we're not afraid to admit it, where everything Catholic is on the table.